NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, you going? Ho, 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 no. Basketball, give me the ball, cause it's also Christmas. Yeah, that's right, it's NBA Straya. It's Monday, December 22. The week of Chrissy. Hope you got all your shopping done. I've still got 2 things I need to get with the squid later today, so just saying, I hope I've got it all sorted. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Studios, and this will be our final sort of big, proper, full-blown show for the year, you know, the calendar year at least. Basically, we're going to wrap up, you know, we'll fly through all the games from the weekend, all that sort of stuff, as we usually do. There are games going on right now, but we're basically just going to set this up because all I really wanted to do was the 30 teams of the NBA. What's on their list to Santa? That's all I wanted to ask on this show, right? I want to go through each of these teams. What do they need the most? What is on their wish list to Santa? What is a New Year's resolution, perhaps, if they're not big on Santa, big on Christmas, whatever. Not my problem. So we'll do that. That's just going to be fun. As I said in the NBA Coffee Run video this morning, it's just going to be me being loud and having a crack. How's that different to usual, Jim? Yes, good point, but still. We might do some very, very, very brief awards for the day, or at least for the weekend. We had some very good, performances, etc. We'll do a 1 year now, I think, in there. We'll do an Outback Takehouse. But most of all, I just want to go on those 30 teams and on the Santa list stuff. We'll pick and preview the games for tomorrow at the end as well. But this will basically be the last, full-blown, full big show before Christmas. We'll have a couple of short ones the next couple of days, setting up for Boxing Day and all that sort of stuff. But there you go, programming alert. All right, without further ado, we'll explain that a little bit further. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for the shade and sharp attack if you're Russell Westbrook. Wow, what a dunk that was on the weekend. Ever had a bloke go horizontal on you? Well, I mean, on a basketball court? Playing basketball? Come on, get your mind out of the gutter, you sickos. Let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBS with the Daily. Oh, it's a whip around as a gym, yes. So as I said at the top, right, so this will be the last sort of full-blown show for the year, basically. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off after Christmas while we're down the beach, hanging out, essentially to hang out with the squids. It's just nice. And also, each year around Christmas, etc., we just sort of understand, like, I'm watching probably just as much, if not more, basketball while I'm, hanging out, but other folks might not be, but also other folks might not be listening to shows or watching YouTube to catch up on stuff. So I'll leave y'all to it, right? But what we will do is set you up all the way through to Boxing Day. Like in the past, I think we've done a Boxing Day show, but like I'm run ragged basically coming down from Ballarat, getting to Lawn on Boxing Day while there's cricket going on, organising the squids. And it's just getting that like level of chaos that it's just a bit too hard. So... And by the time like the games are done, it's kind of like, well, Boxing Day's happened, and there you go, those games are all done. But we are going to set you up for them because there are no NBA games on our Christmas Day, so which is kind of neat. So on our Christmas Eve, I'll do a quick little preview that'll go up on YouTube, Spotify video. It'll come across as audio as well. So keep an eye out for the couple Tuesday and Wednesday's little short things. We will still do an NBA Supercoach show as well on Jim Does Supercoach. We'll do an NFL Supercoach show as well. So there'll be plenty of stuff going around, and we'll do NFL Straya, of course, myself and Gaz. It's why I probably, sound a little bit nasally today. Got a few beers in me yesterday watching the Bears-Packers game at the Catfish in Fitzroy, which is where we host our Super Bowl party, as per usual. It was a great day. I mean, the torrential rain was pretty full on, but smashed a million beers, watched a great game. So anyway, so that's it. So basically this week, we'll have 2 more little short shows in YouTube and Spotify videos for you, basically previewing and stuff like that for each of the days coming up. And then we'll just leave you be until I get back from the beach. You know? If anything crazy does happen, I will have my gear down there, so I will record something in response to it. Like if Giannis gets traded or, I don't know, maybe the Clippers punishment gets handed down about all their alleged money laundering and salary cap rorting. Alleged. We'll see what happens there. So if anything happens like that, I will be able to do a quick little show. I'll have like the little travel mic. I'll just plug it straight into the lappy and away we go. So yeah, I hope you're all ready and set up for Chrissy. I am to a degree, mostly because old mate is an absolute weapon. She's got her notes app, lists, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, I'll get the things that I need to get for the people. And yeah, I thought I was quite organised. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I still need to get another half of this one. And I'm going to do it before I go drinking with my friends. So I'm actually going to take the Squid today down to go play Pixar Putt mini golf at Marvel Stadium, which would be pretty fun. That dude is super stoked for it too. So yeah, so that should be a good one. But basically, I'm just sort of cruising into this Christmas period. I feel pretty just, I don't know. I think the Supercoach show has been really fun to do. It's also been a shit ton more work. But I hope that folks have enjoyed it. I certainly have enjoyed doing it. NFL will be sort of, slowly, we've got 2 more weeks after this round, then it'll be done. And mostly, a lot of the NFL Supercoach stuff is pretty much in the bag now with playoffs, etc. So, but NBA Supercoach will continue apace. We might take a little break over the holidays as well with the NBA Supercoach show, just FYI. But either way, there's lots going on. And I sort of just want to cruise into the Christmas period, Christmas, New Year's, and just take a hint of a break and give myself a little bit of a chance to take a breath, hang out with the fam, chill, and then come back hopefully refreshed and renewed and yelly for the rest of January. Sound good? Good. Great. Too bad otherwise, don't know what to tell you. That's what I'm doing. Right, let's actually get into some NBA news, Jim. Stop talking about yourself. I will never do that. The gambling stuff. Now, this has been popping off a little bit. Now, if you've been listening to NBA Straya for a while, obviously one of my big things has always been, having worked in gambling, around gambling companies, this sort of stuff. The USA was always going to be hard up against it to figure out their ass from their elbow with this, right? Because legislating state by state is just an absolute piecemeal approach, and that's what the US does best, right? Tackling big problems with no big picture idea about what they're doing and then complaining about it to the ends of the earth. And now the NBA and essentially the league itself is trying to go, right, well, our partners with all the gambling stuff and injury reporting for the teams, and we're trying to get everything above board as much as possible. Because if teams are, and another thing in there is tanking, right? So if teams are tanking, what isn't really ideal? Gambling on that, right? If you're just like Joe Blow, who doesn't understand that Brooklyn, Utah, New Orleans, well, not New Orleans, they're not really tanking, they're trying their hardest, Washington, etc. If you look at the standings, you just might innocently go, that team is bad. I wonder why. Probably because their players aren't as good as the other teams. But if there's another motivation for a team to not be trying their hardest to win, you can see how this would be a bit of a conflict when it comes to gambling, when it comes to, ethical, moralistic approach to sports. So the NBA is trying to essentially work their way in legalese around a bunch of this stuff. So the tanking stuff especially was a lot to do with potential modifications to rules regarding draft pick protections, which is interesting, revised draft lottery rules, and other approaches. So essentially, they're just going to renew a renewed review of league policy, which is the most Adam Silver. We're going to renew our review of all the things that we've been talking about for the last 10 years and done nothing about. Yes, that's Adam Silver's approach. Don't do anything. Just say that you're doing stuff all the time and nothing ever happens. But this is smart. Why is it smart, Jim? Well, you have to essentially go, look, the motivations for these teams to tank, we're trying to get rid of this as much as possible. And what that'll mean is that every team, game on game, is starting afresh on a level playing field as much as possible. They don't have an extra motivation to not try to win. right? At least from a meta point of view of the league. That's good. This injury reporting thing is very interesting as well because they're essentially just like, you have to now do it. You have to resubmit injury listings on game day between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. local time and update public reports every 15 minutes, which is awesome. I love this. It's really difficult. So, I'm doing the NBA coffee run video each morning and you're looking at injury reports and then stuff will change in I'll tape the video. I'll punch it out in 5-10 minutes after I've finished taping it. Maybe not even that. It'll go up. I've posted it everywhere. And then Anthony Edwards will be out. Steph is now out. This guy's resting. And you're like, well, now I feel like an idiot. More so than usual. But so that's good. I like the injury reporting changes. And then the other one was what the NBA is going to be pushing betting companies to do, right? Essentially limiting prop bets, which is essentially your player performance bets, limiting the maximum amount that can be bet on those things, limitations on unders, which I think is funny, limiting the population of players. So maybe you only have a selection of 5 of the players that you can actually bet on rather than random bloody bench player de jour looking at you, Porter Juniors of the world. Jesus. And eliminating problematic bet types, like bets on an action on a single play, which is interesting because there are a lot of weird ones out there like method of first basket. And you're like, I guess if someone's in somebody's ear, they could be like, hey, make sure you get that first basket and dunk it because we get a little bit riding on it. Anyway, Jonte Porter's like, hey, guess what? How about you just bet that I don't score? Well, that's because you're in jail, Jonte. Anyway, so a lot of this is the NBA trying to cover its own ass. None of this is because they want ethical, moralistic basketball, They're not doing it essentially out of the goodness of their own heart and a free and equitable NBA, right? They're doing it so, the amount of political pressure that was put on them after the betting stuff broke, that the politicians out there have Adam Silver in their sights because they think the NBA is too woke or whatever because people are morons. But if it gets us to a half-decent place where the NBA is trying to eliminate tanking so they don't get sued into oblivion, it's probably a good thing. Just saying. And the injury reporting stuff is very smart. I like this. Yeah. But you know what? They'll probably renew the review of this next year as well. Probably when they don't make another decision about, expansion. Other little bits and bobs of news. Zoobs. That sucks. Ivica Zubac out for 3 weeks at least. Hurt his ankle. That was pretty bad. Domantas Sabonis, the Souvlaki King. He's going to be reevaluated in another month with his injury as well, which sort of stinks. Just a bit of a brutal one there, right? Sabonis and the Kings are just hard up against it. What was it? His was a random knee injury. It wasn't a tear or anything. And the other little bit of news, and I don't like this very much, the Hall of Fame. Blake Griffin is somehow already up for it. Wait a minute. Anthony Penny Hardaway's already in there. Put Penny in there before Blake. I'll tell you what. Joey Crawford? Sure. Tom Chambers? I'm pretty sure we can tell the story of basketball without Tom Chambers. Yes, he was neat. He had great hair. I also, Terry Cummings, same sort of vibe, right? Joe Johnson, I think we can probably skip by that. Seriously. By the time, even Blake Griffin, yes, Lob City was radical. I don't know if you need to be in the Hall of Fame for that. You know what I'm saying? Just a bit brutal. Otherwise, I think you had Candace Parker, Jamal Crawford as well. It's he won lots of 6-mans. It's great. Maybe that's the unpopular opinion of the day. The Hall of Fame, if you're scrambling to go, we need to put Terry Cummings into the shortlist, along with Tom Chambers. Do you? Do you really? But this is the 200 players, teams, etc. that the NBA, Hall of Fame sort of announce. It's just a lot of players, teams, all that sort of gear. At some point, the ballot is just big, and I don't know if we need to reevaluate this, right? Because you're trying to hype it up. It's look at this. It's Blake Griffin. It's all right, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? He's a Hall of Fame funny dude, but otherwise, I don't know about that. In my Hall of Fame, it's Michael Jordan and that's it. Maybe Sean Kemp, possibly Charles Barkley. Right, let's fly through some game wraps from the weekend because the games today are still going on, as I mentioned. But we had a couple of crackers. Because if you go back to Friday's show, we talked about like the Saturday slate was massive. And then the Sunday slate had some really, really good ones in there too. The Celtics beat the Heat 129-116. Derek White had his best game of the season. The Knicks the Knicks lost to the Sixers on a back-to-back. That was a pretty fun one. The Spurs absolutely slapped the Hawks. The Bulls beat the Cavs again. Cleveland in disarray. Cleveland! Tell you what, the Thunder lost to the Wolves because, I don't know, SGA couldn't grift any more free throws at the end of that game. And boom, they won it 112-107. And then Sunday's games, our time. The Rockets absolutely put the foot on the throat of the Nugs and ran away with that after like Reed Shepherd went off his head at the end of the third quarter. The Mavs lose in Philly. The Philadelphia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is going off their head all of a sudden. 121-114. AD played. Oh boy. Sixers, they're back. The Celtics beat Toronto 112-96 on a back-to-back for them. Peyton Pritch better have my money. Had a great game. Pelicans lose in New Orleans. Zion was pretty good in that. You had the Hornets get slapped around by the Pistons. I like that one. 22-10-10 for Cade Cunningham. The Grizzlies lost at home to the Washington Wizards. What the hell was that?
What was that? What the hell was that?
The Warriors beat the Suns 119-116 despite Booker's 38. Awesome, crazy game. You had 128-127. The Magic eke over the line against the Jazz in Utah. Desmond Bane with 32. Crazy game. Blazers got by the Kangs 98-93. And the Clippers beat the Lakers. Luka leaves that game with a leg contusion. There's no update on that yet, so fingers crossed he's all right. Kawhi played his best game of the season too. LeBron tried to wind it back. Not good enough. And then this morning, so our Monday morning, we had a pretty crazy game between Chicago and Atlanta. So you've got Josh Giddey and Dyson Daniels going at it. 152-150. Geez, Jim, how many overtimes did they play? 0. 302 points scored in regulation. Absolute chaos. I think it's only the 8th team ever to score 150 points and lose for the Hawks. Gids with 19, 9, and 12. And Dyson Daniels 8, 9, and 9. They both nearly had triple doubles. Pretty good. Pretty good. Very quickly, no real weekend winners and losers out of all that. Let's just do a quick NBA Straya approved performer of the weekend.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
So Booker had 38 the other day. He's been playing really, really well. Maxey was awesome. Awesome, I told you. 38 for him. But today, 36, 11, and 9 for Jalen Johnson. They lose that game, however. Buzelis played his best game of the season with 28. He shot 10 of 11 from the floor and 7 of 8 from 3. Not bad. Good size. But really, I mean, you sort of go back over like the Maxey weekend. He has been absolutely carving it up. Came back from, a little bit of an illness and has absolutely not missed a beat. He's been so bloody good. I will tell you what. There was a Santi Aldama game where he had like 36 or whatever, and then the next day he missed all of his shots, which is pretty funny. Santi. Oh, yeah, what do you have? 37 and 10. And then what did he do? No, 37 and 10. What did he do? Oh, no, he had 8 points the game before. Santi, what the hell is going on? I had that one backwards. But Maxey, the 38, 2 and 4 against Dallas, just absolute hero gear after 30 and 9 against the Knicks the day before. He's been absolutely unreal. I love him. Who was the Spud of the weekend?
Spud. It is Spud of the night.
0 of 5 for DeAnthony Melton. That's no good. 0 of 6 for Precious Achua. Bless you. We had a couple of, 1 of 12s. Jeez, Marcus Smart and Emmanuel Quickly. That is, it's pretty rough out there. And, I mean, there was there's a lot of pretty rough ones, but no particularly more egregious ones than the 1 of 12s. That's just, hey, yeah, pretty bad. What was the other one? We had 1 of 9 for OG the other day. 3 of 15 for Julius Randle, but they still got the win over OKC. Chaos gear. But I would very much like to thank, who was it? it was a couple of dudes. We had Jared McCain and fighting Ron Holland. What did they shoot, Jim? Well, I'll tell you. They both shot. Ah, yes! Chill. They shot 311. Yo, beauty. All right, how about we do a bit of a combination old mate, no mates, and pantsing of the night?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Because this is the Shaden Sharp dunk on Russell Westbrook that happened on our Sunday. Shaden is basically horizontal in the air over the top of Russell Westbrook. And this is kind of like one of those moments, like the full circle. Well, I love it when people say full circle and it's only a half circle, but Russell Westbrook went from being one of the most vicious dunkers of people to being viciously dunked on. That's a bit of an old mate, no mates moment. And Shaden Sharp absolutely pantsed him. Like, there's no way around it. That's just the look on his face of like, "Whoa." It's like Jake Paul. That's a pantsing as well. The sheer look of fear when he's about to get absolutely whanged on by Anthony Joshua and have his jaw broke. Not surprising there. But anyway, Shaden Sharp and Russell Westbrook. The other one is Draymond getting booted out. Because guess what? I love it, old mate, no mates. It's always going to be Draymond when he does something stupid and he's like, what do you mean it's something stupid? He's a moron, an absolute dead set moron, does dumb shit, gets kicked out and then chucks a wobbly like he's a bloody 3-year-old. I have experience in this because I have a 3-year-old who chucks wobblies. Basically, we should just call him Draymond at that point, but I can't live with myself if I'm calling the squid Draymond, right? So basically, Draymond cracking the sads, chucking a wobbly, and they go, what do you mean I'm kicked out? It's like, because you're acting like a moron, you idiot. Get out of here. And for the love, this is also Dickhead of the Week, I guess, weekend.
Dickhead of the Week!
Because the Draymond Green Memorial Dickhead of the Weekend is obviously Draymond Green. It's also the dickhead who hit and run, pulled off a bit of a hit and run on our man Goxie. I hope you saw the social post we made about this, trying to drum up a bit of cash for him as well. Tough week, obviously, for everybody. But Goxie got rear-ended, rode off his car in a hit and run, had to get fucking, picked up by our man Lindsay. Lindsay got in touch with a mate of his, picked up Goxie as well. And Goxie just hard up against it, calling Triple O, and they're like, what do you want us to do? It's like, I don't know, I was just fucking hit and run, you idiots. What a shit show that is. So, look, if you can spare a couple of coins for our man Goxie, hit us up. The post is on the socials there, on NBA and NFL Australia. He's been on our show a couple of times, been on the NFL show a couple of times as well. Absolute dead set legend. You might remember him from the excellent cricket meme that went around when he was in Brizzy getting a beer. I love Goxie. So if you can spare a few shekels, help a brother out. But the dickhead of the weekend is Draymond Green and the person who hit Goxie's car. But there you go. Finally, better than Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, and Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Our man Tyrese Proctor, yo, beauty. First ever NBA start, the Aussie point guard for Cleveland. That's right, Cleveland. Tore it up, 16, 6, and 3 in 27 minutes. He was awesome. Somewhat ironically, on Lonzo's team, kicking his ass left, right, and center. And yeah, I feel kind of bad-ish for Lonzo, but not that bad. Tyrese Proctor's outplaying him. Just give the man some minutes, son. Come on. Get him out there, Kenny Atkinson. Tyrese Proctor, absolute bloody weapon. I don't know, did we talk enough about the Shaden Sharp dunk? I don't know if we did. It's remarkable how he gets horizontal in the air. It's just the sheer athleticism of the players off its bloody head. All right, let's do a very quick one. I think we've got 1 year, yeah, nah, and then unpopular opinion of the day. Outback Takehouse will be the Christmas wish list for all 30 NBA teams right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
Oh, yeah. How are we going? We're going all right. Trying to find this that got sent through. Oh, Jim, what's going on here? There we go. Oh, it was a comment. All right. I'll make sure I bring this up. But remember, nahs are always brought to you by you. That's right. You can help us out. You can buy us a beer, shout us a coffee. Buy me at coffee.com/NBA Straya. Very simple, very straightforward. You can hit the links in our social bios, show descriptions, all there. You can join the membership tier and just do it once a month. Shout your mate Jim a tin. And then you get free other extra podcasts. 2 of which I'm taping, writing, so they will be out hopefully in some point in January at this point, but they are exclusive to the Dead Set Legends Club. I've just gotten swamped over the last 3-4 weeks and haven't been able to get enough time to bloody tape them. So we'll see if I can cram in maybe tomorrow, but I don't like my chances. Anyway, so you can go help us out, shout us a tin. What is it? buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. All right, I've got a good one. IMB. One of the great painters out there. Josh Giddey showing Ben what could have been if he'd practiced shooting. Yeah. So we talked about this the other day. Jalen Johnson is what Ben Simmons could have been if he fucking wasn't a coward, right? But Josh Giddey is also showing Ben Simmons what he could have been if he wasn't fucking such a sook and a crybaby coward who didn't want to practice shooting in real live basketball environments because he was a coward, right? Ben Simmons afraid. And this is an interesting sort of combination of talking about ego and the way we sort of, view ourselves through other people's lenses and how, criticism, etc., can sort of affect the way you want to do shit. A long time ago, as you're a writer, I learned to not give a single flying fuck what other people thought, right? It's like, do my shit, write my shit. And it's interesting because I guess having opinions on things in a cultural sense, writing about music and film and other entertainment sort of things, and when you're writing articles and interviewing folks and, you're not trying to overshadow a subject, but sometimes when you're reviewing stuff, writing about things, having your own opinions is important. And geez, Jim, have you been doing a NBA show for a really long time where it's just basically you spouting your opinions? Yes. And that's good. And I don't give a fuck, if people agree with me or not. Right? And if people disagree, that's even better because I want to fucking know, their approach. If they disagree, if you out there disagree with, the shit that I say, let me know. Always, fucking, Jim, you're wrong for this reason. I'd fucking love to hear that sort of stuff, right? It's the best. And the Ben Simmons ego approach of I'm a megally talented, insane athlete who's afraid of working on his jump shot because other people might make fun of me is hilarious. Because I think this is the sort of shit that folks Josh Giddey's the perfect example. I think over his last 82 games, he's been absolutely fucking canning him 40% from 3, which is awesome. And it's just testament to the sheer hard work he's put in, right? And not being afraid to fail. That's fucking hard. It's really hard. And I think this is some sort of shit that we can always criticize Ben Simmons about is because, in any fucking walk of life, if you're, working hard at something and practicing something and not afraid to practice and look like a fucking idiot sometimes, we all can do that, right? In any little way, shape, or fucking form. You can fuck up a Barbie. You can try to smoke some meats and fuck it up. And you go, well, guess what? You don't get embarrassed and not do it again. It's if your mates go, oh, fucking look out, he's burning the gubbin. It's Jesus Christ. Yeah, and then next time you fucking cook up a delicious fucking meal. Whereas Ben Simmons, too afraid to have a crack. And it's just sucked in, right? So, as IMB says, Josh Giddey's testament just to simply what Ben Simmons could have done and could have been if he wasn't a fucking coward. Simple as that. Merry Christmas, Ben. Right, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Let's do our Christmas wish list for all 30 teams. That's right, the Santa list for all 30 NBA teams or a New Year's resolution, whatever you want, right? I like the wish list idea just because, what do you wish for? right? And this can be as outlandish or as like mundane as you need it to be. And amazingly enough, I'm pretty sure Chris Paul pops up like 4 different times. So, all right. So what's on your Santa wish list? We're going to go alphabetical. The Atlanta Hawks, you are on the clock. So their wish list, I think, for Atlanta is quite simply for Trae Young to rediscover and keep his 3-point shot. Now, I wrote this down in my notes last night. Then today, Trae Young went 7 of 8 from 3. It's almost like Santa came early for the Hawks. But the other part of it is, right, Trae Young can have a game like he did today. He had 35 points, 9 assists. Radical. Guess what? They also fucking lost. Right, so this is kind of the big thing. So the Santa wish list is for Trae Young to find his 3-point shot, keep it, and for them to win some fucking games with him playing on that team. They are 15-15, this Hawks team. They had so much hype. They've made all these adjustments, all these additions to this roster. The one constant essentially is Trae Young, and they're still 500. The thing is, I think the wish list is find that 3-point shot, get some wins with Trae Young in the lineup, make that happen over the next, 5 weeks, 6 weeks until the trade deadline. And if you can't notch those wins with Trae Young in your lineup, he's got to go. Your wish list will be more role players to build out around this Atlanta Hawks team that has been pretty good without Trae Young and can survive without his 35-9 because sometimes they get wins when he doesn't play. So I think a lot of this just simply comes down to Trae Young. Can you be a fucking winning basketball player? Oh, but Jim, we made the Eastern Conference for once in a weird fucking set of situations where Ben Simmons completely imploded. The Sixers imploded, and it was a strange fucking year. Outside of this, the entire time, they've been wildly mediocre with Trae Young. So at some point, you're just going to go, fuck it, are we better off without him? So I guess the wish list is Trae Young, hit threes, be better so we win. There you go. Boston. What's on their Santa wish list, Jim? Well, the Boston wish list is very simple. Joey Muzz wants another 15 copies of The Town. All for him. No, he's going to give out copies of The Town to all the other players. Oh, bro, this is my favorite fucking movie every time. Well, I will watch this 4 times a day, bro. So how, there's not enough time to watch it for. Oh, there is if you fucking make it, Jim. Shut up. So, okay, Joey Muzz. The other one is, I guess their wish list is, because Boston is that good and that close in the standings in the East, their wish list ought to be that Jason Tatum gets the all clear to return in March, let's say the second week of March. He has a month to ramp up. They are the 3 seed currently in the East. They're 17-11. Their wish list has got to be Tatum to come back, be healthy, stay healthy, and they can make a deep playoff run. That's a wish list. A reality list ought to be, like, if you're an actual Boston Celtics fan, I think I'd rather be like, I wish the Celtics would ignore Jason Tatum and just fucking play out the season for him. Just piss him off. Just play out the season without him. We'll be fine. Bring him back next year. Off we roll. That's probably the most realistic point. The other one is, I guess, because they haven't figured out how to use Anthony Simons in any way, shape, or form. I've been banging on about this since the start of the fucking year, where they're like, oh, we'll bring him off the bench. It's like, Pritchard is awesome off the bench. Let Simons roll as a starter. You're fucking him up, and that's exactly what's happened. So I guess the wish list is, it's turning Anthony Simons and his expiring contract into some other sort of outside big-ish kind of help that can get you some rebounds, play a bit of defense, and away you go, right? That's probably about there. Boston, however, I think I'm probably happy going with the middle one there, right? Just fucking kicking the can down the road, not bringing Tatum back too fast. Even if he gets the all clear, I just don't fucking know if you want to risk it, right? But I guess if you're a Boston fan and you're wishing, It's that he's all hunky-dory and he can come back and help you win another title. Brooklyn! Their wish list is to flog MPJ off for 2 firsts. Which would bring the Kevin Durant total, I think, to 10 first-round picks that they managed to get out of that deal for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and then Michael Porter Jr. It'd be very close to 10 and some swaps, which is crazy. But that's basically all they want, right? They want to flog MPJ off for a couple of firsts, 1 or 2. It doesn't really matter at this point. And to just land AJ DeBanster or somebody next year in the draft. Very simple. Brooklyn they should be wishing to not win too many more games. And also get some shit in return for Michael Porter Jr. Maybe Cam Thomas as well. Possibly Nick Claxton. Charlotte, they should literally just wish to have their lineup stay healthy for more than 3 games at a time. Dear Santa, could we please just have a fucking healthy team for more than 3 games at a time? I just want to see LaMelo, Connie Nips, Brandon Spindles-Miller, Miles Bridges, that prick, Kalkbrenner, all these dudes, Diabate. It doesn't just have them all healthy. And let's just see what this Charlotte team can do over the course of a couple of weeks if they're healthy. That's all Hornets fans should be wishing for, health. Because then you can figure out if LaMelo works. You can figure out if this all fits, if you want to keep building around LaMelo. Until you have health, you have no fucking clue. Chicago! They should be wishing for a new front office that isn't afraid of doing anything. Because apparently at the moment, they're just wildly afraid of doing anything. And it's very silly. But what the front office should be doing, and what Bulls fans should be wishing for, is their version of the Isaiah Hartenstein trade, right? Go get a big that can play a lick of defense that isn't that giant spud Jalen Smith or Patch Williams, who are like these weird undersized fours, whatever. Just go get Nick Claxton, Time Lord, just a big that can play some defense. You can figure out how Vooch works with them. You can bring him off the bench. Doesn't bother me. But you need your Hartenstein, where you can play 2 bigs at once if you need to. We know that Vooch can spread the floor. We know that there's like this weird... You can have this giant-sized fucking offense. Who knows what could be going on. But you need a defensive big. You don't have to go and break the bank for Anthony Davis. Trade a pick or 2. Maybe move on from Kobe White, but he is still such a good scorer. You need sort of like a big return for that. I think you can sort of do enough around the edges with enough picks, the Portland pick that you've got, go get a vaguely defensive big. Portland have got like 87 centers. None of them can stay healthy, but I mean, Time Lord, just go do it. Nick Claxton, go do it. Come on, Chicago. Do something. That almost might be the wish list. Do something, damn it. Cleveland, I think they need to bloody just wish for an exorcism.
Cleveland!
Mobley out for a month. Garland, he had a really good game the other day, but geez. But I feel like the wish list ought to be, again, health is a big thing for Cleveland. Just get everybody back and just figure out, is this going to work again? Otherwise, I guess the wish list is, once Mobley comes back, are you going to continue to make this work with Jared Allen? Right? Jared Allen, the double big lineup, is that what you're going to continue to try to do? The wish list is, we need to figure this out ASA and Falcon P. Or can you go get Giannis for Garland and Allen? But I mean, the tricky part is I don't think they can combine salaries and all this. It's just a shit show. So I think Cleveland, they're sort of hard up against it. It's really hard for them to make a move. I guess the wish has to literally be, can we just all get healthy for when it matters? Because it feels like Cleveland could be this wildly dangerous sleeper. If Garland can spend the next like month and a half getting back into game shape, getting back a bunch of his... He's had these good games, right? But that's the problem, consistency. So if he can get that consistency back into his game next to Mitchell... But the biggest problem for Cleveland, it just feels like there's 2 sets of redundancies on this team, right? Where Garland and Mitchell next to each other, it kind of works, but then kind of also doesn't. 2 smallish kind of guards next to each other. And then you've got the 2 bigs in Allen and Mobley. And Mobley has been pretty bloody good this year. Allen hasn't been quite as good. And you got this weird situation where it's like, wait a minute. How is this doubled up in 2 different spots and we've got no wings? And DeAndre Hunter's like, oh, I'm good. It's like, are you though? Come on. So Cleveland, just get healthy and figure out if what you're doing is what you want to be doing. They don't really have too many options otherwise. Dallas, their Santa wish list is that they should, like, Santa takes away D'Lo. Santa comes down the chimney, he goes, D'Lo, you're coming with me. D'Angelo Russell's like, oh, but I like it here. Too bad. Or at least just see what you can get for him, right? Fire him into the sun. I don't really care at this point. They also just need a bit of continuity with Flag, Nemhard, PJ, Najee, Anthony Davis, and Gafford all playing sort of at once, like with Clay, Christie, Powell. Like, it's a deep-ish, kind of half-decent team that should be a bit better than it is, but no one can stay on the bloody court. And also piss D'Lo off. So I think their wish list is, Santa, can you please take D'Angelo Russell away? Just saying. Please. Please. Or at least tell him to pull his head in. Denver. All they sort of wish for is for their injury woes to be done, I reckon, and ask for them to be healthy when it actually matters. Like, this is the perfect time of year to not have Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown. They've done pretty bloody well without them. They will not do that well without them in April. So Denver need to make sure that this is their injury woes done. And they should be asking Santa, hey, can we make sure that this is all the major injuries we have? Just these two? That will be enough for Denver, because I think they're absolutely loaded for bear. I think they could easily go to the Western Conference Finals, push OKC, maybe make another finals, maybe win another title. Just saying, if they're healthy. Detroit basketball, what are they asking for Santa? I mean, to not play any more West teams ever again, because that's what they've done so far. I think they're now 23-6. Detroit. No, 22-6. And they've played 22 games against the East. Geez, Jim, does that leave 6 games against the West? Yes. That is I think the second least. Yeah, I think it's the second least outside of, I don't know, the Pacers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So Detroit, really, it's like, yeah, keep playing the East teams because you're kicking the crap out of them, which is good. But then I think their real sort of wish is to ramp up Jaden Ivey, get him more involved, to have like the option of a second lead ball handler and scorer who's really effective. Like, they're taking it very, very slow, which is good and smart, and that's fine. Just hope that Jaden Ivey stays healthy. They got the second best defense in the league, right? Defensive rating, 9th best offense. So if Ivey can sort of kick it up a notch, he could be exactly the thing that fixes them. So Detroit should be okay. But yeah, they should also look and hope and wish that they are as good against the West as they are against the East. Golden State, they should wish to find someone who will take Draymond off their hands. And possibly Jimmy Butler as well. Their wish should be to replace Draymond and Jimmy Butler with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Simple as that. Giannis needs a change of scenery. Boom. See ya, Draymond, and a bunch of other contracts. Or see ya, Jimmy Butler. Never liked this fit anyway because you're old, so piss off. They're just too old. It's not working on offense. The defense is fine, 5th. The offense is a train wreck. It's 23rd. Jimmy Butler, though, he's old. He's cooked. What are you doing? Golden State, their wish list is the Greek Freak. Whether it's pissing off Draymond, pissing off Jimmy Butler, I don't really care. One of the two. Off you go. Houston. Their wish list should just be a picture of Chris Paul. Bring him home to run point guard school for both, Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd. Ideally for Houston, you're just putting Reed Shepherd through the Chris Paul school for good point guardery, right? The same as he's done countless other times. Reed Shepherd would love that. He would benefit heaps from it. Same with Amen Thompson as well, I reckon. And then KD can play with his buddy. It'd be awesome. Houston, go get Chris Paul. Indiana, their wish list should just be to be, a top 3 pick next year. But also play Johnny Furphy more. Old Johnny Beers. So he can actually show a bit of something. He was fantastic on the weekend. He had a career high. Play the kids. Don't care about losing. Top 3 pick next year. That's on your wish list. Simple as that. Get Halliburton back next year. Get another awesome dynamic wing. Boom. You're laughing. The LA Clippers, their wish list should be that Steve Ballmer has been working in secret to not circumvent the salary cap, but to make a time machine. So he can go and switch out 36-year-old James Harden with 26-year-old James Harden. And maybe, 29-year-old Brook Lopez with this Brook Lopez. And maybe go back and undo the entire Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deal. And wipe Paul George from the annals of Clipper history. I'm just saying. Maybe he is richer than God. So Steve Ballmer, That's a wish list. He could be working with Santa right now to work this time machine out because the Clippers are fucked. The Lakers.
The Lakers
are going to be fine. They just need to get healthy, stay healthy. Reeves, LeBron, Luka playing. Their wish list really ought to be that Jared Vanderbilt can be the dude who plays a bit of fucking defense on this team because no one else really wants to. They kind of need Rui, Vando, DeAndre Ayton to just do all the heavy lifting on D. And if that all fails, they could also just take a picture, like take Golden State's wish and go, we'll take a Giannis, please. Do you think Milwaukee would like Austin Reeves? He is white. Ah. But anyway, pairing Luka and Giannis, just let's make it happen. They're the sixth best offense at the moment, and they're getting worse on defense, 21st, and it's not getting any better. Their wish could be that like LeBron was 31, not 41. Just saying. Essentially, they just need to wish that they could get some help on defense. Whether it be on this roster, they need to figure that out, right? So they wish for the clarity of whether or not this roster is good enough to compete on defense. Or do they just go full-blown offense the entire time and try to outscore absolutely everybody and hope that they have enough on defense to slow down the other team once or twice? Because at the moment, it's shit house. Memphis, what is their wish list? Hope that Ja remembers how not to be shit. They also need, the wish list needs to be that Ja Morant just pulls his fucking head in and rediscovers how to not be shit. Off the court, on the court, doesn't matter. That's all that matters, right? And if he can't, they should wish for a trade partner that's dumb enough to take him and overpay for him. Miami, their wish should be to play some East teams, right? Same as Detroit. Well, flip side of Detroit. They've only played 17 of their 28 games against East teams, and only Indy's actually played fewer than that, right? So, I screwed that up with Detroit. They've played so many of the East that it's crazy. They've played 22 games against the East, as I said. Indy has only played 16 against the East. Miami's played 17. So they've got the 30th ranked offense in the last 2 weeks, though, Miami. So I guess their wish list is to make sure that they can get that offense back on track. It was blowing teams out early and has now just fallen apart. See if Hero fits properly. If not, again, we're going to go back to the Golden State one. The wish list is a certain Greek gentleman. Not Thanasis, not Costas. It's Giannis. Milwaukee! That's where Giannis lives. Hiring up. Their wish list should be that Giannis is just happy if they hire one of his other brothers. But mostly, I guess they should wish that Kevin Porter Jr. and Miles Turner and Kuzma and stuff can win a couple of games until Giannis comes back to the point where Giannis doesn't want to just bounce mid-season. Right? And sort of that you hope that he comes back fit and firing, and this roster around him, this island of misfit toys, just works enough to get to the playoffs, make some noise, keep him invested for another year or two, or let him showcase his wares, and then you can flip in the offseason, right? That's all you should be wishing for, Milwaukee. It's either him staying or him giving some fucking clarity that he wants out in the offseason. Minnesota. Their wish list is Chris Paul coming to help out Rob Dillingham. Right? Between Mike Conley and Chris Paul, Rob Dillingham, like if he fucks up from here on out as a point guard, like it's on him, right? So they should be like wishing so hard that they can just go get Chris Paul, add him, get him to put Rob Dillingham through Chris Paul's school for good point guardery, and off he goes. Love that for Minnesota. Otherwise, like they sort of just need to make sure that Ant-Man stays healthy and that they can actually hit some threes. They started 0 of 13 from deep today. The New Orleans Pelicans. They should also just be wishing that someone's dumb enough to trade for Zion. At least overpay for Zion, right? Because I don't know how many people want Zion, but there's got to be 1 or 2 teams out there that will overpay for him, and I'm looking at you, Sacramento. But otherwise, keep everybody healthy for more than a week and see what you've actually got and win a few more games so you don't look as wildly embarrassed. They're 7-22 now. They've won 4 on the trot, the Pels. This is what happens when they're actually healthy. Come on, Pelicans. Just wish for more health. OKC, they should wish for more grifting free throws for SGA. Well, really, their wish list is that the Clippers give them the number 1 pick, isn't it? Because that's going to just... Adam Silver's going to burn down the NBA at that point. Orlando! They wish that Franz comes back and Suggs comes back healthy and that they can spend the second half of the season just fucking healthy. That's all I want. Yes, you can wish that Anthony Black gets more of this. Like, he's been awesome, Anthony Black. But Orlando, that was a huge out of their ass win over Utah. But they just need a fucking hint of consistency and health. That's all. As I've sort of pointed out in the past, they are the sneakily, like, was this Amway Center built on the top of a Indian burial ground? Or is it just the basketball gods punishing them for the Amway shit and their owners being absolute chaos agents? Philly! They should wish for a new set of knees for Joel Embiid. Or that he just retires. Right? Because the middle ground just... Oh, I don't know if I like it at all. This is Maxey and VJ Edgecombe's team now. Piss Embiid off, or have him come back and prove that he can be healthy and effective and just get the fuck out of the road of Maxey. Phoenix, they wish for their Denny Avdia. What do you mean, Jib? Well, the rando dude that they trade for from like some team who's like sort of screwed around, and it turns out that they're awesome. Like the Denny trade. I talked about the Hartenstein trade earlier for, who was that? The defensive big that they needed. I think that was Chicago. Yeah. So Phoenix need their Denny trade to have like that random guy who pops off and is awesome. We all know that Dylan Brooks is Dylan Brooks. They need that Denny guy that pops up next to Devin Booker and can be like a really, really awesome one too. But ultimately, they should probably wish that they could only play the Lakers, the Warriors, and the Wolves more, because they're the only 3 wins they've had in the last 7 games against those teams. But really, they just need someone else who can initiate some offense, score a bit more. They're 27th in offense in the last couple of weeks. Bit of a worry for the Suns. But anyway, they need their version of the Denny trade. They got to wish. And I don't think it's Grayson Allen, just FYI. Portland, they should just wish that they can get Jrue back healthy. Because I reckon a lot of the other stuff just stems from him not being there, because it's crazy how much it means to them. But it's also very true, right? Portland just need Jrue back. They've won 3 on the trot now because they're sort of getting slightly healthier all of a sudden. And if they can get Jrue Holiday back, proper, with his calf injury, this weird nebulous calf injury, because they're basically playing Denny at point guard, Shaedon Sharpe next to him. You've got Kamara, Jeremiah Grant. You've got Klingon back now. You've got Time Lord back. If you can get Jrue back, awesome. You might be running towards the playoffs. Let's go. Come on, Portland. Get Jrue back healthy. That's your Santa wish list. Sacramento! They should probably just wish that they weren't the Sacramento Kings. They could probably wish that Chicago would take back Zach LaVine. They'd probably wish that they didn't sign DeMar DeRozan. They could probably wish that they never took Nick Stauskas. Stauskas? They could probably wish that they didn't sign Dennis Schroeder and Drummond Rondo and Russell Westbrook. They could wish that Sabonis would come back. But I don't think all the wishing in the world is going to help them in any way, shape, or form, because they're the Sacramento Kings and the saddest franchise, under the radar, saddest franchise in the NBA. Train wreck. Absolute train wreck. San Antonio, their wish should be, we're bringing back Chris Paul. He's going to help Stephon Castle and your man Dylan Harper. Welcome to the 3rd iteration of Chris Paul's school of good point guardery for good point guards. Chris Paul on the Spurs, one last ride, bring it home. Let's go, Chris Paul. Toronto, they should just need, they wish that if RJ Barrett can come back, then it all just works, right? Because it feels like the notorious BI3 has been going off his head since RJ Barrett's not been there. Scoob's been fine. But they're 20th and 17 in offense and defense the last couple of weeks after being 11th and 7th across the year. So it's been whoosh. RJ shouldn't mean that much, but it turns out he kind of does. So basically their wish list should be get him back and keep this shit fucking above board and back to 11th and 7th on offensive and defensive rating. Utah! Their big wish should be that Keontae can just step off the fucking roller coaster. Because when he's awesome, he's awesome. When he's bad, he's horrible. And yes, the roller coaster is spending more time at the top than at the bottom. He could also just step off the roller coaster, right? When it pulls into the station, just don't go back on it, Keontae. That's what Utah need. They also need the number 1 pick. That should be at the top of their wish list. Because like all the fucking picks in the world that they've had, they just get kicked in the dick time and time again, the Jazz. And finally, Washington, their wish list should be, again, the number 1 pick, because that's just classic wizard stuff. But they should also hope that like a team is dumb enough to give them a first for CJ McCollum. Maybe Chris Middleton. That's probably not going to happen, but McCollum, maybe. I don't know. I do wonder, is having your veteran presence is good. You're also still getting shit pumped left, right, and center. So I don't know if it's going great. Just saying. All right, and there you go. That was all of them. Very quick Australian player watch, mostly because I just wanted to hit on Furphy's career high as well the other day. Let's press the button. So we've got a Tyrese Proctor going off, and then we had Johnny Furphy on the weekend as well, go for 18-2 against the Pelicans in that big one. He played 23 minutes, 7 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 3 from downtown. Bloody good. And I talked about the Josh Giddey and Dyson Daniels game earlier today. 19, 9, and 2 with a couple of steals for Gids. 2 steals, 9 assists, 9 rebounds, 8 points for Dyson. Not bad, good size. And I had a Jock Landale go the other day for the Grizz. He had 5 points and 8 rebounds against the Wizards. He went 2 of 10. That's brutal, Jock. Brutal. I'll tell you that much. I think Luke Travers got out there as well in that Cleveland game. Let's go and have a look. Brings it back up against the Bulls. Pretty sure we got Travers out there because they were short. Yeah, Travers played 6 minutes. He had 4 points. 2 of 2 from the floor. 1 turnover, 1 steal, 3 rebounds. The flying doormat goes whack. All right, but that's it. We're going to do a quick pick and preview for tomorrow's games, and then we're going to piss off, get out of here. And as I said, the next couple of days, we'll just do some preview shows. Maybe some raps. We'll see how we go timing-wise. But tomorrow, remember, you can find all of our picks over at Dabble. The link to check it all out is just in our show description or our social bio. So have a look. Charlotte at Cleveland. The Cavs are 9.5-point favorites. I will be going probably Charlotte because the Cavs are a mess at this point. Charlotte, as long as they're healthy and kind of up and about, they can keep that one close. I believe in you, Charlotte. This might be the game where it's like 143, 111, but come on. Charlotte, don't let me down. Indy at Boston, fun one. The Celtics are 9.5-point favorites. I'm probably still going to go Boston. The Pacers, I think, are pretty feisty at home. On the road, it gets a little bit jankier. Dallas in New Orleans. The Pelicans, as I said earlier, riding a 4-game winning streak. I might go the Pels -1.5. Dallas may not have flag for this game. He's dealing with a back contusion. AD's probably back, but I reckon the Pelicans might have enough at home. Denver host Utah. They're 15.5-point favorites. I might take Utah plus 15.5. They're just sometimes a strange-ass team, especially with those big lines. Memphis and OKC. I think OKC kill them. We saw the Grizzlies lose to the Wizards yesterday, so yeah, I'm going to go the Thunder. Orlando, Golden State. The Warriors are 4.5-point favorites against the Magic Men. I'll probably take the Warriors. Orlando just snuck by Utah yesterday, so I'm going to go the Warriors. And Detroit, Portland. Oh, yeah. That's a fun... What is that? The 1990 NBA Finals rematch? Bloody hell. Detroit are 5.5-point favorites in 5.5-point favorites in Portland. Ooh-wee. I might go Portland. Plus 5.5. I think they can keep that one close. That'd be a fun shootout, though, I reckon. Good stuff. All right. But there you go. That's it. We will pop back on YouTube tomorrow for a quick wrap-up show and preview our Christmas Eve games. There's a pretty big slate. I think all the teams play on Christmas Eve our time because all the teams over there play on the 23rd. No one plays on the 24th in the States. And then they've got like 5 games on Christmas Day, which we'll then preview on our Wednesday, right? So with all those games happening on Wednesday, I'm probably not going to wrap them all up. I'm just going to set you up for Boxing Day on Christmas Eve because I got a bunch of shit to do, obviously, because it's fucking Christmas Eve, you know? So, yeah, that's how it's going to go. So in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, YouTube, TikTok, all the good stuff. We're all over the socials. Get around NFL Straya, myself and Gaz. Awesome, crazy week in the NFL this week. We're going to talk that all out. Of course, Jim does Supercoach, if that's floating your boat. NBA and NFL Supercoach shows popping up this week as well. We'll see how we go the rest of the season. NFL, right at the pointy end. NBA, I think we did okay on this short week. But anyway, rate, review, star, subscribe across all of your podcast apps, of course, for all those shows as well. Come on, you know what to do. That can be your present to me. A rating, a review, a star, a comment on YouTube. Just go check it out. Be very much appreciated. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Go check out House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Extra Green, and Dozers there behind all the tunes you hear. Smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. Yeah, pretty good. All right, we're going to close out today's show with the old throwback Christmas special. NBA Straya's Christmas album from a few years back. So I did this one as old mate was wildly preggers with the oldest squid and was going into labor as I was uploading this. So yeah, I'm screwing around doing all this sort of shit. She's wildly pregnant, about to pop. She did pop finally like the next day. It's very funny. So I'm going to chuck that on the end of this show. So, all right, we'll catch you on YouTube and video Spotify stuff tomorrow and Wednesday very quickly. But this is the final big show. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. Talking just a lot of trash. Very fun, isn't it? All right. Have a great Chrissy. If you don't check out the other two shows, you're breaking my heart. But either way, big Christmas week. I'm going to go smash some tins, go play some mini golf. It's going to be awesome. And we'll catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves. Merry Christmas and...
This Christmas, why not surprise your loved ones with a brand new collection of Aussie basketball Christmas carols? That's right, NBA Straya's Dead Set Legendary Strayan Christmas Carols for Dead Set Ledgers is out now this Christmas, featuring classics such as Jingles Bells. Jingles bells, jingles bells, jingles all the way. He has such fun, talk shit about your mum and drops a dirty tray. Hey, dribbles round his back, takes to the rack, barely gets off the ground. Still smashes on your head and now you're dead. You're fucked, mate. Oh, laughs at Draymond Green. His cutting words have bite. What fun it is to watch an accountant smash cunts left and right. He'll take Jazz to the win. Get the fuck out of the way. You just got fucked by Joe Ingles, but it's all okay. He's jingles bells, jingles bells, jingles all the way. He has such fun, talk shit about your mum and drops a dirty tray. Hey, dribbles around his back, takes to the rack, barely gets off the ground. Still smashing on your head and now you're dead. You're all fucked, mate. Simo Night. Simo night, holy night, 6'9" God is a sight. Round yon Jenna's mother and child, he'll nail 'em both, triple, double, and flex. Holy Son of Dave, Simo's a heavenly peace. Dally the Tin Smashing Goat. Dally the Tin Smashing Goat has a very punchy vibe, and if you ever cross him, he'll clothesline you in the eye. All of the other players says he'll take out your bloody knees, but we all know that Dally just plays harder than all these fucking dipshits. Then one foggy Cleveland morn, Dally came to play, Cavs with your forsaken plot. Let me guide your fucking team tonight. Then the Cavs started winning, and Daly was dropping threes. Started sinking Corona tinnies, and the fans began chanting MVP, MVP, MVP. Little Banger's drummer boy. I set this screen for you, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. I knocked this little prick out, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. I'm dropping threes from the hills, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. Dunking on fools and putting them on their bums. On their bums, on their bums. I'll drink these beers for you, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. And now your mum. Here comes Patty Mills. Here comes Patty Mills, here comes Patty Mills, driving right down the lane. Didn't settle for a jump by now, he's making it fucking rain. Coach Pop is singing, LaMarcus is whinging, DeMar's flinging passes left and right. And when the Spurs need someone to close, Patty Mills is in your sights. Oh, here comes Patty Mills, here comes Patty Mills, driving right down the lane. I'm dreaming of a Thon McCurr, brackets, fly kick to the head. I'm dreaming of a Thon McCurr, and he's kung fu kicking someone's head. All that and more on NBA Australia's Dead Set Legendary Australian Christmas Carols for Dead Set Ledgers. Out now and available for $24.99 at CC Music Geelong, Ballarat Records and Tapes, and Brash's music stores everywhere this Christmas.